Well, what's going down, everyone? And if you are tuning in right now, you're going to go ahead and say, well, hey, there's new updates. And it's very exciting, down to free gifts to a treasure trove of what I have in the background of information that we're going to get into for the Sinking City. Though many of us thought it was going to sink, this update is seeming really promising, and you're going to want to stay tuned to see what they put in the box. You can see that there's a lot of pressure that the studio itself was under, and me not knowing that and me digging a little bit deeper in like the Steam community, I started to see that they did a good job with this update for the simple reason not only did they give us a treasure trove of information again that I have pulled up to the site, and we're gonna get to that information definitely there. It's the only list that I have found online, literally. It's like, so like I'll try to take a few screenshots of these and make sure to try to upload these for others later on, but like at this point in time, for as far as the patch, what we've gotten down to the point is that they're heading towards the detective performance patch that has been released on the console, as well as the point of view of improved the performance in the crowd behavior and guns. And like that for me wasn't a good enough start. I just kept digging and digging and digging till I hit rock bottom right around here. And the only thing that you can say is, well, we've had a really cool leather bag. That's great, but where's the updates? Let's get to the updates and we'll dive into other things that were holding back the studio in general points to look into what they were going through as a company, seems like. As you can see, I've went ahead and pulled up what the PlayStation had to offer, and that was one of the best situational sources of where I got a lot of my information from. As you can see, the performance is improved overall. Performance and players should see more stable FPS. Awesome. I'm saying that's a win for round one on me, because quite frankly, it was getting a little old. But past that point of situational awareness was that now we should, as console players, should get a little bit more of an enjoyable point situations. Now, as you see, the improved performance addresses the previous report of the frequent FPS and shudders, and that was very correct. A lot of the gameplay that I had up to date was just not really cutting it, and there was people like sinking in that city, literally. One thing that I did want to point out though is in the gameplay, as you can see up above, that the underwater scene, hopefully that they would have improved as well. Like, I know a lot of people did struggle at trying to get past those like kraken creatures that were just of destructive death and, well, just quite frankly a pain in the ass. And as you can see, the glimpse of hope we're trying to get to. Hopefully this patch, which is seeming pretty promising from the list of the consoles, doesn't end up where you see that very scary face and then, yeah, you're like, WTF, man. WTF, mate. Deal with you. Yeah, but WTF, girl. WTF, game console. WTF, whatever. It was frustrating. It really was. Now the list breaks down to the crowd behavior, which personally for me was like a really, what the hell's going on here? When I saw like some really interesting crap for the first time ever. They were going underwater and roving around in circles. I was like, oh, this is just crazy. As you can see, my time remnants that are about to kick into full play, there's a lot of NPC character issues that did come up and arise during the 1.02 saga as they transitioned over to. So as you can see coming up over, all of a sudden you have one portion where you're just like, oh, okay, look, we're here. But directly over, you see the doctor in the more prevalent point. You'll see like what ends up happening right after when we run up again, showing the same exact gameplay. For as far as the situational points. I laughed the first time. I was just like, oh, okay. Wait for it, wait for it. It's magic. You think, oh, that guy's just having a bad time, right? And then you see her, and she's just floating. Look at that. You think the guy with the, you know, the bad stomach was like the issue, but here we are. Chick's floating in the air. So many things with the NPCs have gone wrong, but hey, drop a comment if you've happened to have had a situation that rendered you in a situation that was of hilarity, because I really would like to know what happened in the sinking city that we all evolved ourselves into. Not too bad though. I mean, like, I have to say, for where they've come so far, this is an update that's very promising, but let's get back to it, shall we? As crowd control now is going to go ahead and move down off the list, combat and gunplay will become that of what a situational point of what we want to get an interest. So all of the combat weapons have received a new gunshot sound effect that makes the gun play more satisfying. Thank you. It was really, really just unsatisfying. Pretty much it just left a lot to where we were going with the game. I was like really wondering what was going to happen for the very end result, as we were really just seeing this situational thing pan out. Now I'm glad they didn't give up on us, and I'm not going to give up on them. I'm going to give this a very fair shot. I have a lot of patches that I need to do today. Once I clear that, I'm probably going to go back to the Sinking City just to see if I can sink the city off the beaten list. So you can see why everyone would probably be a little happy to see that they've done a lot with the visual effects as well. Certain weapons have received new recoil ammunitions, as well as the camera shaking effect has been added to make sure the shooting looks more realistic. All of the received new gun sound effects as well. So like we're going to be seeing ourselves into a lot more miscellaneous points. They fixed all the missing parts of the roads which caused the players to fall through the textures. Players now select in-game language in the settings. Ukraine language has been added. 2 new outfits will be in the situation for the Devil's Reefs upon arrival, which is kind of cool. I would be very interested to go back there to go check that out. And then added a small improvement for the optimization. It seems like this game has been completely worked over in the right way that you would want it to be for a standard next generation game hitting a console for a day one, I would hope for say, but not. But like, at least they didn't give up on us, and I'm really excited to see what they have. Now, one thing I did want to point out though before leaving and exiting out of the patch notes in general is when I started this journey, I started here around Reddit, and I was just basically seeking out information which would lead me to Twitter. And from Twitter, I never gave up, and I said, well, hell, let me look at the PlayStation menu and see what ends up happening. And once I got here, I just checked the update history, and bam, there it was, all the information that I needed. So it was really happy to see the portion of what they basically delivered to us, but I have one extra thing that I would like to point out, and all these things will be in the description, besides the actual physical list that I've shown off, which is right here on PlayStation. Is once that I figured out that I got on PlayStation, I was like, well, hell, let me look at Steam and see if they had any information, and you'd be surprised what the community always usually has to say. As you can see where the Sinking City is the project or what they're going down from Frogware, and it seems like Frogware kind of got screwed when like I was looking up a lot of the situations where the publishers pulls the games from the sales and the license distributing, so that would be a hard thing to work with. So like they're trying their best, I suppose, in this situation, and quite frankly, if there's like more information to be had in this, I would like to know and like see where they're going as a project portion of what they want to give to us, because it's like if they're like being roadblocked, that sucks. It's kind of like Friday the 13th all over again, where it's just like great game, but they were blocked by their own like great idea, which sucked because other people just want money. But hello, this is the situation where I say if you're new to the network, you can always drop a subscription down below, and who knows, maybe Cthulhu will actually make this game like a VR experience in the near future. That'd be kind of cool. But all subscription humor aside, and I hope I didn't just freak out Frogware, they're like, holy crap, that was a great idea, but you just released it among the public. It is a great idea though. But anyways, I'm gonna give this chance the third time. Third time's a charm, I'm hoping. This is gonna be with this game. But all subscription humor aside, thank you so much for staying with the network. For returnees that are subscribed for the last patch, here you are. Now you're actually given a newer Sinking City update. And for new people, I appreciate that you stayed with the network down to this portion of it. So you have a nice day, stay classy, and I'll see you in the future. And it's not where you take your dreams, it's where you live them, experience them, and have fun with them. It's the evolution of where these patches can take us. And I do hear that they are talking about having like a really cool situation of upgrading the graphics soon too. Thanks to people on forums like this and everyone else that's actually stayed to the network of dropping down comments. So that's what I would ask as a very ending thing. Drop a like, but drop a comment down below. What did you experience in this situation? And your boy Mac will see you in the very near distant future.